How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom to the end that is profit and loss? And pretty soon you two can zoom like a boss. But catch the student once he is the queen of the zoom. How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom to the end that is profit and loss? And pretty soon you two can zoom like a boss. But catch the student once he is the queen of the zoom. How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom to the end that is profit and loss? And pretty soon you two can zoom like a boss. But catch the student once he is the queen of the zoom. How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom to the end that is profit and loss? And pretty soon you two can zoom like a boss. But catch the student once he is the queen of the zoom. How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom to the end that is profit and loss? And pretty soon you two can zoom like a boss. But catch the student once he is the queen of the zoom. How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom to the end that is profit and loss? And pretty soon you two can zoom like a boss. But catch the student once he is the queen of the zoom. How can you turn
Woo! How y'all doing? Okay, I'm going to put myself in record mode, record to the cloud. I'm also going to put back on Chris' microphone since you guys heard the music. Why is she telling us this? This is kind of how I operate. I got to tell myself stuff in advance. Hey, y'all, it's Zoom Queen here, Marquesa. Oh, my goodness. I really didn't think I could do this week. This has been, I guess I just needed I just needed some downtime. Let's put it that way. Things have been amazing and awesome, but sometimes that body says you got to chill. So I feel better because I think this is my first real day, although I do post pictures. I know that. My first real day back. So yay, yay, yay. Now I'm looking at my lovely Restream and looks like there is somewhat of a problem with me going live in my main Facebook group. I feel terrible because that's where all my people are. So I'm trying to fix this live. Blah, blah, blah. Trying to fix this live. There's something going on, guys. Sometimes things go weird. But anyway, while I'm starting, because I have some important things to share with you guys today, I want to share looking fancy on Zoom, kind of like what I'm doing right now. I want to answer some questions that will blow your mind because you're like, I didn't look at it from that perspective. I also want to share something really awesome, guys, with you, family oriented in a way. So stay tuned. So I got all this stuff I want to share. Okay. But I'm trying to bring my group in right now. Guys, get on my list because you can actually text me live during the broadcast if you're on my list because I'm looking at that. Okay. So multitasking is not my thing. Absolutely not. So I am looking for this. And I want to make sure you guys hear me loud and clear. Let me see. So this is the leveraging group, which looks like for whatever reason, Restream is not getting in. And I didn't look thought, and I don't know why. And it's hard to do this while I'm trying to speak. So I feel horrible. But the good news is this is what I do if I just can't do something fast enough and I have to, the show must go on. One of the reasons or one of the benefits of live streaming and going multiple places, and when I say multiple places, I'm on LinkedIn right now, I'm on YouTube right now, I'm on two places on Facebook, supposed to be 3. And I guess, I'm on all these places right now, but here's what's most important. This is also being recorded in the Zoom cloud, okay? Why is that important? Because I want to repurpose this. I want to put it different places. So what do Zoom cloud, some of you guys, I did not know Zoom had a cloud. They certainly do. You want to use it. the best part of Zoom Cloud is when you do not have to worry about how much space you have. So if you have a Zoom Pro where you pay Zoom $15 a month or nothing at all, well, no, I shouldn't say or. If you pay Zoom $15 a month, you're going to get 1 gigabyte. For me, that's nothing because I could literally meet with 3 or 4 people or speak, do a keynote, whatever it is, meet with my mastermind, do a keynote, have a meeting, and I'm way over 1 gig in one day. So what I love about Zoom Cloud Storage is really, in my opinion, only beneficial if you get the unlimited benefit, okay? Number 2, if it goes to cloud, it can then transcribe for me, and it can give me all these different versions. It can give me a gallery version, which means all the faces on the screen. It can give me speaker only version, which means you see me. Heck, it can give me strictly slides version if I want it. And here's the best part. Oh my gosh, are you sitting down? The best part is it also gives me Zoom highlights. Now, I did talk about Zoom highlights, I think, on a previous broadcast, but Zoom highlights is something new, guys, that probably came out, golly gee whiz, I want to say a couple of months ago. And Zoom highlights mean, and let's say that you got an hour-long Zoom that you're doing. And I know how I am. Sometimes, well, anyway, we all have the greatest intention. I'm going to go back and watch that Zoom. But then we tell ourselves, oh, but it's an entire hour and I won't do it. And so oftentimes Zoom sessions, or frankly, any replay on demand, will be procrastinated on. You'll procrastinate on. So I love that Zoom recognized that. And they said, okay, we want to make it easier, faster, and more likely that people will watch the recordings. So guess what they came up with? They decided to make it easy for us to get literally like highlights from the Zoom session. So this means an hour recording may be turned into 10, 15, 20-minute recording from Zoom. Isn't that cool? So they choose the highlights. And I know someone will say, well, Requesta, how do they know which highlights, which things in my webinar, my meeting, my mastermind, whatever, how do they know what it is that I want to highlight? So I can answer that. They don't know. They're listening for certain keywords, I do believe, but I don't know how they know, but I do have this response. You can go into the back end where it says Zoom highlights. And again, I'll do a deep dive on this in Club ZQ, but you can go into the back end of your Zoom, go to the recording section, go where the highlights are. You can click a button that's right below the video, that lovely video that everyone will see. Click, there's a button right below it that says Zoom highlights. When you click it, on the right side, you'll see the transcription, okay? And the transcription will highlight in yellow, you know, highlight yellow. It will highlight everything in that transcription that Zoom is calling a Zoom highlight. But this is the best part. Listen to me closely. You can then go into that highlighted section, click the pencil, and unhighlight it if you're like, I don't want to highlight that. I don't want to highlight that. Not only can you unhighlight certain things, you can highlight other things. So I love that. So Zoom does the work for you, and they allow you to go in and edit it. So bottom line, I can do this and so much more when I use the Zoom Cloud. So you want to use the Zoom Cloud. Now, and you want to use the unlimited version because it just takes up way too much space to get everything that I just spoke about. So you're like, well, do I have unlimited cloud? Do I have to pay for it? Yeah, you can go right to zoom.us. You can go to Zoom Pro, pay $15, and then upgrade to unlimited cloud storage for, I think, $70, $80 a month, something like that. Or you can go to Zoom to Income. That will be my site, zoomtoincome.com. You can go there, purchase a license for $30. You will be paying this annually, $30 a month, and you will get it added in. Hello. So you decide which one you're going to do. But I brought that up. It's so funny. I'll mention something. I had no intention on talking about that, but that's one of the millions of reasons why you wanted to record in cloud. So I'm sad that for whatever reason, and this has happened before, so I'm going to have to do some figure out what the heck's going on, because it's kind of annoying me why I cannot live stream right now into my Zoom Strategically Facebook group. Guys, make sure you're part of that. Just go to zoomtogrow.com. But as I said before, I will just post this recording and then everyone in the group will get a chance to see it later. Okay, so that's a good thing. So I don't have to worry about it anymore. So I'm going to stop trying to multitask and fix this. I'm going to stop trying to multitask and fix this. And instead, I'm going to deal with that later. So let me take a sip of my Oprah water. Why do I call it Oprah water? Because it says JOMO, the joy of missing out. Get it? And this is what I got from Oprah's event in 2020, right before the pandemic. She was here. She was in Brooklyn. I'm not in Brooklyn, but not far from it. And I went there and I was sitting in the audience all day, like steps from Oprah, because, you know, I always got to get the best seats. And I bought one of these and it's so good. So every time I drink it, I think, this is my Oprah water. And I would be drinking it with a straw so that my lipstick wouldn't come off, but I can't find it. So let me get off this screen here. Excuse the delay, whatever. But anyway, I'm just aware, but still enjoy it. So I'm going to go to the main screen. Where are you, main screen? My brain is just, I told you, my brain is not moving fast today. Okay, here we go. Is this it? Hi. Now you get to see the full me if you're like, I'm tired of looking in the corner. So anyway, hey guys, how you doing? What's up? What's today? It's normally Tuesday, so I'm gonna pretend happy Tuesday, but it's really Thursday. By the way, what is your favorite day of the week? I'm curious. What is your favorite day of the week? I want to know. Now, if you're on my text list, you can actually text me this. Tell me what your favorite day of the week is. So I'm going to go down here and see if I'm going to go to my community and see if anybody texted me their favorite day of the week. Well, you know what? It's so funny because every single day is kind of cool for different reasons. But I think one of the benefits about owning your own business, and I've had mine for 16 years, you start to make every day an ideal day. So that's going to be another call. But off the top of my head, I will say Wednesday, because Wednesday, I feel like I am on an average week. I feel like I'm just in full swing. Wednesday tends to be the day where I do not schedule any appointments. I do not meet with any of my masterminds, and it gives me a chance to just sort of think, if that makes sense. Go into my think tank and make decisions that may affect the next week, the previous week, help my clients, blah, 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 blah. So I love Wednesdays. That Wednesday is that day for me, but I love all days, to be honest with you. But where did that come from? Why did I share that? I have no idea. I just share things for absolutely no reason. Here we go. I do have something that I do. So anyway, let's back up, because this may go a little longer because I'm making up for the fact that I'm going on a different day. So I may go a little bit longer because it's already 2:15 and I got so much I've got to share with you. So one of the things I want to share, y'all, is who here likes art? Raise your hand if you like art. Raise your hand if I love art. I'm going to probably one day do a tour of my apartment. It's so bright. Hold on one second. I think the light is shining on me way too bright. Hold the Oni. Okay, let me turn that a little bit that way. Yeah. See, that's another thing. There's a trick. When you have glasses and you zoom, or you don't want the ring light to shine right on your face, it's good to turn it a little bit. So I did, but guess what I did, y'all? I have this makeup trick. Sometimes it works to my advantage, sometimes it doesn't. But this makeup trick is something that I use that really enhances the glow in your skin. And I think it's so cool. So yeah, oops, I think I turned this thing all the way off. I'm sorry about that. So it gives you that glow, but sometimes I'll overdo it. So it looks like I got a spotlight right on the top of my face. So anyway, let me go back. What was I talking about? Focus. Oh, I was asking who loves art. So let me show you something, guys. You see my desk. Look up at the top. You see in the corner there, you see that awesome art. Excuse me, because that's been there for years, and I need to pull it down. The one of the girl, I need to pull that down and fix that frame. And you can't really see the other one, although it's freaking awesome because of my lovely flowers. Well, I would fix that, but then you guys would look at my butt, so never mind. Anyway, you get to see up there that beautiful art. So I love art. But guess what? This is the best part, and I'm going to get to it. This art was painted by Rick Petway. Notice the name, Marquessa Petway. Rick Petway is my biological father. Good guy, lives in Houston. And he's been, doing art his entire life. And since he's retired, it's his full-time thing. He illustrates books, mega talented. I always say that I got his creativity in a different way because I can't draw nothing if my life depended on it, but I am super creative. So I think I inherited the creativity in a whole completely different way. Anyway, so he did these and we talked the last weekend and he showed me his latest site. So I told him I wanted to share it with all of you. Why am I sharing it with you? Not only as a way to support him, but I am blown away with the fact that he has his art on a calendar, y'all, and it can be very expensive to order art, thousands of dollars, but he figured out a way to do it in an inexpensive way where me, you, and anybody else can send clients a gift and it will be shipped through that particular company. And you can enjoy all these evolutions of art from my father for a very inexpensive price on a calendar and beyond. You can get on a t-shirt, mug, everything. So I invite you guys to go check it out. Reply and let them know that your daughter Marquessa sent you. But I put up the website over here so you guys can see it because I'm really proud of him and I do believe in supporting family. So I wanted to show you guys this. It's so funny. And guys, let me know if you want me to talk about this. I have dual monitors now. And in the past, I have so many monitors without extending a monitor. I just didn't think I had a use for it, but I purchased Zoom. I'm going to confuse you, but Zoom put out something called D10, which is their own all-in-one computer, if you will. It looks like a big, gigantic iPad, and they sold it. I think it came out last year. I'm not going to answer right now if I recommend it. We'll save that for a later broadcast, but I purchased it, and I honestly think it was in competition with the Facebook portal. I'll say that. Anyway, I love it because I can use it as a unit all by itself for Zoom if I choose. And the whiteboard is insane on this. So it's amazing from that. It has its own camera, its own everything. Or I can turn off the Zoom part of it and it becomes an extended monitor. And it's ginormous. So I'm over here. So when I go to my right, I can see it. But it took me some time to figure out how do I connect my external monitor to Zoom, where I see one view and one computer and a gallery view on the other, or whatever I'm sharing on the other. So I still kind of do this. So in one of my upcoming Zoom Queen Goes Live, if you guys want it, I'll show you how you can do the double monitors. Not right now, though. But I wanted to share it with you. So that's why I'm like, why is her faces everywhere? Why is she everywhere? That's why. But I'm going to go ahead and hit share screen. I'm going to stop sharing because I have music up here. I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm going to go ahead. Again, I have to say out loud what I'm doing. Otherwise, I get lost. Oh, Marquessa, really? You're going to share everything on your screen? No, I'm sorry. I'm going to desktop too. So you also got to pay attention where you're going, what you're doing. It's weird. That's not where I want to go. I think I want to go here, right? Dang it, girl. Why is it so hard? I'm sorry. Again, my brain is just not all here today. Okay, I want to go to the other one. Thank you very much. I want to go to the other one. Click this for me. Thank you. I have to talk to myself. It's ridiculous, but I have to talk to myself. All right, here we go. So I'm going to go to the Firefox browser so you can see me sharing my screen, I do believe. Hello. So actually, but you're seeing the wrong stuff yet again. Damn it, what's wrong? I'm sorry, it is not the Firefox browser I want to share. So apologize about that. I set up some things in advance. Here it is. Sorry, it's the Chrome browser I want to share. All right, so here we go. This is the website. You can go to rickpetwayart.com, Rick Petway Art, and whatever art you love, click on it and you can go to the calendar section. It's super easy. Look at this beautiful art that my father did. So I'm really proud of him. Family members are in his artwork. He's a big deal. So I'm very proud of you. Good job. Good job, Dad. Good job. So you can go to rickpetwayart.com, check it out, and let them know I sent you. But I love it. I love it. And now I got my clients' gifts. So this is so cool. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing that. And I'm going to go to some other things that I want to get into. One thing is I get this question all the time. How do you do these freaking overlays? But how do you do this overlay? How do you do the little bubble? All of these things. And I think some of you have heard me say that I use Ecamm, but I also have colleagues that use vMix, and I have colleagues that use OBM. So just so you know, if you're thinking, well, how do I use, which one should I use? How do I use it? We have recordings in Club ZQ that you can look at that takes you through everything. And then we have a whole entirely separate recording that shares with you how to create this lovely overlay. That being said, all of those things require software outside of Zoom, or requires a little bit of a learning curve. Although in Club ZQ, we just try to give you enough steps so you can do your magic on Zoom, and then let you make the choice to go deeper with the expert that we bring in. So that's part of the purpose of Zoom. Club ZQ is all about Zoom, rocking it on Zoom and standing out on Zoom. Anyway, this evening, today, and you're gonna be shocked when you hear me say this, at 7 p.m. Eastern, I get a chance to host who I consider, and he doesn't know I call him this, but I consider this man the king of Zoom. You know, I'm the queen of Zoom. Hello. But I consider him the king of Zoom. His name is Richard. He is so smart. He's always been in my group. And I really don't know how Richard found me. I have to find that out. How did you find me, Richard? I don't even know if he's watching. Anyway, I love it because he's the only one in the group that always beats me to the latest update on Zoom. And, you know, oftentimes I can't answer questions. My team may not answer questions because we're doing other things. Richard will go in there and knock it out. I mean, like I said, the whole group, you can go to Zoom2grow.com to see it. The entire group is full of rock stars, full of it. So I never, ever have to worry about someone's question not getting answered. On occasionally it doesn't, and I'll pipe in a couple of days later. But anyway, this guy is brilliant. This evening, he's going to talk about something else, y'all, that is way simpler. You can do it on Zoom. I do believe, I don't want to misquote him. You better, because this is Club ZQ. But it's super easy, and you can get a lot of these bells and whistles, okay? He will tell you exactly which bells and whistles, but it's a lot easier. I'm like, really? What? Show me this, Richard. So I can't wait to see it. And I've been getting all these emails from people saying, make sure I get the link, make sure I get the link. So if you haven't gotten the link, you will get the link. If you're not a member of Club ZQ, go to, how do you find it? Go to either zoomlikeaboss.com page down till you get the Club ZQ, or if you want the $50 off coupon, go to zoomqueen.com. You may have to type in www.zoomqueen.com because sometimes there's a redirect issue. Anyway, go to zoomqueen.com. You'll see something that says Club ZQ. When you click on it, you'll see the $50 coupon. And if you have any issues, email my team and me at team@mlpspeak.com, and we got you. That is 7 p.m. this evening. It's going to be out of this world. And I'm very excited to see what he has to say. This guy is smart. Again, I call him the king of Zoom. So excited about that. All right. So now that I've talked about that, I want to answer some questions. And they may shock you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go into the group right now because I feel terrible because, again, I'm not live in there. Something's going weird with Restream talking to Restream is not talking to this particular Facebook group, so I'm a little annoyed, but I am going to still go into it. Okay, so I'm looking for something right now. Okay, and by the way, some of these questions I have not read, so I may go a little longer than 2:30 so that I can answer these questions, and I think it will benefit you, so check it out. So I'm going to hit share screen. Some of them I prepped for, some of them I didn't. And I just saw another question. I think that came in about 4 hours ago. So I don't always like to answer questions without preparing, but we may give it a shot because I don't mind being on the spot sometimes. So this is my Zoom group. You can always go to it again by going to zoom2grow.com, the zoom2grow.com. It'll redirect you to it. That's the easiest way to find it. Or I think if you're on Facebook, you can type Zoom for Biz into the search Facebook and it'll come up. Anyway, get your butt in there because this is definitely an awesome place to be to learn from other Zoom stars. So I'm going to go to the first question that I did prepare for. Okay, so this is from Mark Pittman. Mark is also a Club ZQ member, but since Mark has his own mastermind the same time that I have Club ZQ, he often cannot attend live to ask his questions. So I saw that he put a couple of questions in here. I'm like, yeah, I get a chance to answer Mark's questions. So I hope you like it, Mark. Good guy, amazing, brilliant. I love Mark. So anyway, this was his question. He said Zoom clarity. I'm noticing that in the recordings, and guys, if you don't know what I'm looking at, I'm going to go ahead and annotate so you don't have to try to figure out where I'm at. So let me do this. Let me spotlight this. Yeah. So I'm going to spotlight this. So this is the question right here. So I'm noticing that in the recordings of my Zoom meetings, everyone else looks crisp and clear, but my image looks fuzzy, not in the meetings, not when he's live, but in the recording. Okay. Are there settings I should look to make my camera, which is, he has the fabulous Logitech. I think that's the Brio. Look as clear as my participants. Okay. So first things, Mark, here are a couple of my thoughts, and I got set up for you guys. I went on and set up my screen. So I'm going to stop the annotation because it is sometimes weird to do it when you go to the next page, but I'll see. I'm going to go, this page right here. Is this the one? Ooh, girl, you're in my way. I think, is it this one? No, it's this one. Okay, it's this one here, I think. Anyway, I went into my settings so I wouldn't have to log in while I was live. Okay. And oh, wait a minute. I don't know that you guys are seeing me right now. I just realized I don't think you're seeing my screen. Hold up, guys. Are you seeing my screen? I don't think that you are. Let me just check and see if you're seeing my screen. Let me see. I don't think you guys are seeing my screen. Give me a second. Blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to see if you guys are seeing my screen. Give me a second. If you're not, I have to reset. And that's fine. But I just have a feeling you're not seeing my screen. So let me make sure. See, if I was in my group, I wouldn't have to guess. But I would hate to do this whole thing. They're like, Marquessa, we never saw your screen. That's so freaking embarrassing. Okay, so let me see something. If you guys are seeing my screen here. If you hear me, guys, and if you're on my list, text me. Let me know if you can hear me. Well, damn. Hold on one second, guys. I can also check a different way. I can go into my back end here and see kind of what's going on. And yes, you can see my screen. So we are all good. You can see my screen, which is really good. So yes, you can see it. I don't know why I can't tell it in my Zoom window, but I just wanted to confirm that. All right, so let me go back to where I was. Let's go to settings. So if you look here, I'm at the back end of settings. You know how you go into your Zoom settings. Then I'm going to page down to where it says, just keep going all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. And you're looking for where it says, and by the way, one of the rules of thumbs, Zoom don't know what you want. You need to go into your settings and tell Zoom what you want. So that's one of the first rule of thumbs, guys. You have to set up your settings. So if there's certain things you're not getting that other people seem to be getting, it may be because you never enabled it in your settings. So this is a good rule of thumb as you go through this. So when you look here, even the emojis, Hunty, if you want all the emojis, you got to tell them that you want it. So anyway, I'm just looking at different things, but let me just go to where I'm at. Go to the thing so you can get the highest of resolution, whether it's in cloud or not in cloud. And I want to address another piece of advice that I've heard people give that I completely disagree with. So if you go here, there's something that says group HD video. Right here, you normally have the 720p, which is the standard HD. If you want the full HD, which is 1080p, then you're going to need to click on it right here in your backend settings, okay? So make sure you can do that. Now, before I start getting some emails and people say, well, I don't see that in there. If you are not under my account, then you need to contact Zoom directly or whoever your administrator is to see if they're going to make that happen. Now, I don't know if things have changed, but I do know because of the number of people that are on the Zoom platform, initially everyone could do that automatically, and then they pulled back for whatever reason. So you're going to have to check it out on your end. But yeah, to do this. So that's one way I want to answer the question. So let me go back to the question again. He wants better resolution, but you notice he also said recordings. First things first, when you first go into your Zoom back end to the recording section, is going to look fuzzy, Mark. It's going to look fuzzy for like the first few minutes. Then sit there and watch it a little bit and you'll notice that it'll become way more crisp. But I do agree that that happens sometimes. So what I would do is make a strategic decision. I would ask myself, okay, how am I going to use this recording? How long is the recording? Do I need to share with multiple people? Do I need the transcription in this? I would really go through and think about how this recording will be used. So for example, I got the text today to remind me, I have a major keynote that I must do in advance to send to the meeting planner. And I'm going to use Zoom webinar, and I'll tell you why for a reason. There's a whole strategic reason why I'm doing that, because I do plan to do it live with you guys. I'll send something out about that because I like the energy, but in order to keep it composed and distraction free, I'm going to do it on Zoom webinar, which by the way, you get when you have Zoom Enterprise. So you kind of got that part. To get the most crisp resolution, I will save it to my computer instead of saving it in the cloud. Although it will come out really looking good, it does come out just a tad bit better sometimes if you save it on your computer. But that's the meeting planner has already said they want me to send them the MP4 recording. So that works out. They did not ask for transcription. They did not ask for X, Y, and Z. So that's easy. That's simple. That's a one-time thing. I do it every once in a while. That makes sense. If I want to do a quick promotional video, like I just had a huge milestone with Kajabi, which is a system that I use. And I posted this awesome video in the Kajabi group. And I did a really, really quick video right here on Zoom. And then I just saved it into my computer. And sometimes I do that because I just want to review it really quick. I want it quick. Cloud takes time because it's got to, transcode and all that kind of stuff. So if it's a quick thing, I would do it. Now, I understand, I don't know if he's using this for that reason, but in another question, Mark mentions that he has his own course, academy, and I know for a fact that he does. So if you have an academy and you're going to share this with your academy and you got a whole lot of classes you're going to do, I recommend that you do it in the cloud because it's easier to share. Most students, and especially course participants, they want a transcription. So I definitely agree that I definitely will say that you need to do it in the cloud, but just make sure whoever's account you're on, even if it's your own, that you do the 1080p. That would be, make sure you have the Brio. I think that that's the Brio, but I don't know it by the model number. I know it's a Logitech, but make sure you have the Brio webcam. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go to the store that's in New York City. It's called, oh my gosh, what's the name of this place? Oh my goodness. B&H Photo. Go to B like boy, and I think you spell out the word and, A-N-D-H as in happy, photo.com. and they have a lower price on Brio than Amazon does, but that's still a very crisp camera. Also, guys, I think some people forget this, and this is crazy, but I did this too. Make sure that you go in and tweak the settings of your webcam. You got to do that. When you purchase the webcam, you got to go to the website, do whatever you need to do, and tweak the settings of the webcam. You may not be using the clearest setting within the webcam. It may not have anything to do with Zoom. So make sure you do that, okay? You can always go to Logitech.com, tell them the model number, and download the software right into your computer, and you can tweak those settings. Don't forget to do that. That's major. And it also will help you with zooming in, zooming out, getting really close, getting far away, getting a wide shot. So use your webcam settings, okay? That would be the next thing I would say do. It was something else that was in the, if you want the crisp look, it was something else. I can't remember what it was. So I'll think of it. But anyway, I think that's enough of an answer. Check your settings for sure. Use everything. Make a strategic decision if you need. Oh, I know what I was going to say. This is going to shock y'all. Hey. But you know, I am a brand ambassador for the Zap Pad here, okay? And so every once in a while, I'll do a special with this, and the special we did recently. One of the advantages of the lovely Zap Pad is you can do both an on your own computer recording and a cloud recording at the same damn time. Hello. Hi. It's so cool. How do you do this? Because this right here has something called Cloud Record. Cloud Record, I don't know if you can see that. It says Cloud Record. And so right during your session, you click Cloud Record. I'm sorry. Yeah, you click Cloud Record, or even you can reverse it. It doesn't even matter. One says Cloud Record because it has a cloud on it. One just says record, okay? So if you hit the record button here, it's going to record it to your computer, right? But then you can go into Zoom and do the cloud recording. That way you can kill two birds with one stone. You can get the computer recording and you can get the cloud recording. Isn't that stupid? Yeah, yes. I've told y'all to listen to me by that damn Zoom pad. So if you're like, Marquesa, can I still get it? Yes, but you're gonna have to send me an email so I can work out and see what I can do. So send an email to team@mlpspeak.com to do that. Or you can just go to zoomqueen.com, click on it, and you'll just get the free shipping. But listen to me when I recommend something, because you can do some stupid, amazing things with this. You can, it doubles as a clicker, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I wanted to mention this. And another thing I love about this is, let's say that you're doing breakout rooms, and maybe there's a certain breakout where you want to get the local recording, because you only can record it from the main session. So if you have 10 breakouts, Zoom will only record from the main session. But with this little baby, you can record something in a breakout. Not all of them, but at least one of them. So anyway, it's kind of cool. It does some magical things. So hopefully you love that, Mark. Yeah, yes. Okay. Brian Dodd, who's one of my Zoom Enterprise members, says, how do I extend my scheduled meetings so I can retain the same number? How do I extend my scheduled meetings so I can retain the same number? Because think about it, you know, if you have your own group, your own mastermind or whatever, it's a pain in the butt to constantly send off the Zoom, send off the Zoom meeting ID all the time. Now, I have taught my students how to create a redirect. So make up a website, call it girlgottwist.com, right? And then redirect your Zoom permanent meeting number to it. That's one way to do it. Another way is if you are a Zoom Enterprise user, which means you're under me, you're able to also create your own branded Zoom in the back end of your Zoom. So let's say you're Brian, who by the way looks like Santa Claus. So let's say we wanted Brian's to be Brian Santa Claus. He would put it in the back end where it says profile, and there's something that says customize, and Brian can put in there, it'll say zoom.us/ instead of all the numbers, it'll say Brian Santa Claus. Isn't that cool? So then whenever someone wants to join Brian's meeting, they would just go to zoom.us, click on where it says join, and type in Brian Santa Claus. And, they'll come right into the meeting. You can also do the same thing on the smartphone. So all of that being said, his question was, okay, same number. Let's just say that I want to send out a regular Zoom link or whatever. How can I retain it? Richard Zoom King answered the question really well. He not only put the link there, but, and I think I skipped one of the comments. And then another Zoom King is Robert. Robert says, I believe you are talking about setting a recurring meeting or just using your personal meeting ID. Oh, okay. So I think he just repeated. He's so good at that. Repeated the question. Valda, who's a Zoom superstar, also said you can just go in and change the end date. She is correct. You can set up a recurring series. Only thing is it gets a little tricky with that sometimes because the recurring means it's got to recur on a similar day and a similar time. So if you're doing some on Monday the 15th and then Thursday the 18th, that's difficult to do. But Zoom does give you an opportunity when you set up the meeting. They give you an opportunity to either do the meeting with your permanent Zoom meeting number or with the sporadic one. So pay attention to that setting, okay? But there is a catch to that. If you do it that way, you're going to be limited with certain things. So I would make sure it's a clean recurring and try to stay away from the things they don't allow, because the best way to do it is to have it on your personal meeting number. Or if that doesn't matter, it doesn't need to be your personal meeting number, just set up the recurring until the end date. So it may go for 6 months, 3 months, forever. You can just set up and Zoom will forever recur and you good to go, baby. All right. So Brian, hope you got that. Hopefully you got that. Don says, I'm hosting a webinar, but I'm a meetings girl. So I double check. I get you, Dawn. Dawn, I think, is also one of my Zoom Enterprise members. She says, question, registration is happening on another platform, which means it's not going to be done through Zoom. So I chose no registration for the webinar. Is it okay to simply share that webinar link with those registered, or should I import all those names prior? I just want them to easily join stress-free. Whew, honey, not only, Dawn, do I want you to be stress-free, but I also, not only do I want your participants to be stress-free, I want you to be stress-free, okay? So if registration is happening on another platform, that's absolutely okay. Whether it's Zoom meeting or Zoom webinar, when you go in and you set up the meeting, you just click no registration and then give them one link. But her question was specifically for webinar. You can do the exact same thing with webinar. So let me show you. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go to webinar information. I pulled it up. This is a webinar. One of the things I do is I have a recurring webinar. I call it Pop in Zoom Room because I don't have to go through setting it up, right? And so this just stays there and it becomes a recurring webinar. Okay, so here, I can go in here if I want, and you notice it says link to join webinar. This means I can just send this link out, right? And no one has to register because see where it says registration settings, no registration required. So you can just send out one link and everybody can join it, okay? But just keep in mind on a webinar, they're not gonna be able to see their faces, but unless of course they're a panelist, but they will be able to just join one meeting. So that's an easy yes, Don. So good job there. Okay. Oh, we're kicking it and slaying it, Hante. But you do not have to import all those names. Absolutely not. Zoom's got you. Zoom's got you. By the way, guys, I do think it's worth it to let Zoom handle your registration. Can I show you something really quick? I'm in the middle of a 5-part book launch for a client, and I'm going to show you what we've done to help her register people. Now, they were going to do it through their particular service, but we talked them into doing it through Zoom because it just makes it easier in terms of follow-up. That's one of the one of the benefits of using Zoom webinar versus Zoom meeting is they really make the follow-up process and the registration process a million times easier. So I want to show you something. If I can find it, give me a second, guys. I want to show you something. Because I know I emailed it to myself. Don't you hate when you email something to yourself, but you can't find it? Only Marquesa, right? Cockle-doodle-doo. I want to share you some because I'm so proud of it, but I think it's going to make a big statement to you guys when you see it. Darn it, I know I said, hold on one second, guys. Sorry about that. I told you about this darn multitasking. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay, hold on one second. Oh, I found it. Darn it. A lot of emails came in since then. That's why I'm so confused. Okay, so let me pull this baby up. Okay, let me open that and I'm going to share the correct screen. Give me 1 second and I'm going to open it and share this screen with you. Okay, so let me, and this will be a great publicity for her as well. So she wants me to share it. So I'm going to hit stop share and I'm going to go ahead and share that particular screen. So I'm going to share, I think that's Firefox, Marquesa. I think it's Firefox. Is it dialing? Yes, I have both browsers up. Check this out. This is a Zoom webinar registration page. Look how hot that looks. Isn't that fabulous? The cool thing about the Zoom webinar, and I'm just going to tell you this, make sure when you get a notice that Marquesa is going to do a deep dive, a strategic deep dive, different from what Zoom does for you, but a strategic Zoom deep dive on why you can literally up-level your business and operations by leveraging the Zoom webinar. A lot of people ignore that, but I'm going to do a whole thing on that. So make sure you're on my email list or my text list, really both, in order to get this information. But one of the things that I want to share with you right now is this was created just for this. It lets you create a banner, which you can also create on Zoom Meeting, but it also lets you put in your logo. Well, guess what? Since this is a book launch, she was able to put in her book. Smart, huh? How beautiful does this page look? And by the way, we're going to go in a little bit later and we're going to put in the speakers. So that's something else we can do that webinar does. It allows you to go in and instead of it'll say description and then it'll show speakers. So I think she has 3 different speakers that will be participating in her series. And so you'll see their faces and her face, and you'll see description for each one. And then remember what I said earlier about setting up a recurring series. This is set up so each participant can decide if they want to attend all 4 sessions. They will check them off so that they are reminded about it through Zoom, or they can just check off the ones that they're going to attend. Isn't that fabulous? So I love that. And there's so many other things. I don't have time to get into it, but there's so many other benefits of using the Zoom webinar registration process. So I just want to put that out there. Make sure you look out for the training that I'm going to do on that. And you're like, Marquesa, you're going for a freaking hour. I know, but I feel bad because I don't feel bad because I couldn't go last week because Zoom Support Studio. This is where I do heavy hitter productions with my team. I want to give a special shout out to Rakita and Jeffrey. They are a couple of my Zoom producers. And yes, hopefully it'll be this year. I've been a little busy, but I am going to do a Zoom producer, not only training, but a whole Zoom producer license, so that you know how to do it. And one of the benefits it will give you is an opportunity to support me on my productions and make good money. Okay, so there's so many people, so many Zoom stars that supported me. Richard, Cheryl Roosh, so many people that have supported me on my Zoom productions. Can't even remember them all right now. So thank you, thank you, thank you. But 2 of my top people would be Rakita Johnson as well as Jeffrey Dagnachu. Okay, so I wanted to show you this one here. So you see this. Okay, so I showed you that. Oh, and then you can share it all on social media. Isn't that stupid? And guys, oh my goodness, there's something else. This is why you want to be at that training. Here's something else that only Zoom webinar will do. Let's say, okay, Ellen is doing this whole webinar series, right? Let's say that she wants to, her team, she has a whole social media team. Let's say that they're putting it on LinkedIn. They're putting it on Facebook. They're putting it on Instagram. They're putting it on all these different places. Well, it would behoove Ellen to find out, where is my tribe? They're putting on Twitter. Where is my tribe hanging out? Where are most people signing up for my webinar series? Well, in the back end of Zoom webinar, this is so awesome. In the back end of Zoom webinar, they give you, there's a little section. I'm not going to show it to you right now, but there's a little section in there. I'm going to stop share for a second. There's a little section in the back end of Zoom webinar which allows you to put in Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, email list, Sonia's email list, whatever it is you want to put it in there, and they will give you a special link for each one. So then you provide the link to whatever platform that is, and guess what? Every time that link is clicked, it will register in the back end of your Zoom for that particular Zoom event, and it will say something like you got 1,500 clicks in LinkedIn, 500 people signed up, you got 60 clicks in Twitter, X number of people signed up. So this is really good information to have. So when it comes to stuff like that, Hunty, you can only do it with Zoom webinar. So guys, you really, 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 really want to be on that training, because it can just make everything, it can just change your whole game. And if you are one of my Zoom Enterprise licensees, you'll get to come for free. And if you're not, you will pay a fee. So that's one of the benefits of being in that tribe. So I wanted to share that with you. So I can go on and on and on. It is 2:51, so I can probably do one more question that was asked in this group, because I was like, what do I want to talk about today? And since I've been sort of out of the loop this week, I needed it to be something that I could kind of do quickly or get it together without too much preparation, although answering these questions do require a certain degree of preparation. And by the way, this is an example of what I do every single month in my Club ZQ. So if I go even deeper, because I'm all about helping you grow your influence, grow your impact, and grow your income on Zoom, because I teach you how to use Zoom strategically. So we get down deep and dirty. My people make money on Zoom. They really do. So that's what makes Club ZQ really different. Okay, so I want to go. It was one more question I think I wanted to answer. So let me hit share screen. If you have to go, I understand. But thank you for hanging out with me. Let me see. Is this Chrome or is this Firefox? I think. Which is it? Yeah, it looks like it's Chrome. Okay, let me hit share. All right, so I'm here. Okay, so we answered Brian's question. We answered Don's question. Cynthia had a question. Looks like King of Zoom answered it, so that's kind of cool. Okay, I love this question. Cynthia says, and Cynthia is also one of my Zoom Enterprise licensees. She says, I am planning a meeting where the participants will chat with the group at the beginning, so all faces need to be seen and heard. Okay, then there will be I guess I could have had on my spotlight. Then there will be, it's right there. Then there will be a speaker for an hour with Q&A after. I need to know who is attending, and I want to promote it with the speaker's info and picture and description of the program. Listen to that. Listen to that. Listen to that. Okay. Then it says, I usually do these in webinar mode. Okay. Can I accomplish what I want to do in webinar mode? And then she goes on to say, having the participants able to interact with each other before the speaker starts. I do not, in capital letters, want to use breakouts at all. So I have a very not techie savvy group. Very good question, Cynthia, very detailed. I love it, I love it, I love it. But this is certainly a strategic question as well as a logistic question. And those are my favorite, because frankly, I don't really think that there's any question that you can ask where there is not a strategic answer. But if we go to, so let's break this down a little bit, and this will be my last one, I promise. And I hope you guys are loving this. I really do. I feel good. This is my favorite thing. Let me take some more Oprah water. My favorite thing. So anyway, go in here. It says, I am planning a meeting where the participants will chat with the group at the beginning. So all faces need to be seen and heard. Then there will be a speaker. Okay. Here's the thing. She wants everyone's faces seen and heard. Okay. But she also wants there to be a speaker. Based on what she is saying here, I would definitely go with Zoom meeting. Okay, why am I saying Zoom meeting? Because she wants everyone's face to be seen. But my question, so that we can go deeper to Cynthia, would be, how many participants are we talking about? Are we talking about 15? Are we talking about 30? Are we talking about a small group? Okay, if it's a small group, then you can use Zoom webinar and just promote everyone, but give yourself enough time to be able to do all of that. Okay. But here's the thing. There's really nothing. Well, wait a minute. I was about to say something that isn't true. Some of you may say, but wait a minute, Marquesa. Wait a minute. Okay. She did say that she wants to promote the speaker's information, the picture, the description, and you have limited descriptions in Zoom meeting. Okay, so remember and it's funny, guys, I didn't even know this question before I showed you what I showed you. But remember what I showed you on Ellen's page where there was a description, a banner, a logo. And then I also said, although it doesn't show it right there, I also said that you could put a speaker's picture and their bio on it. So from a registration standpoint, it would be better for her to do this on Zoom webinar. So if she decides to do this on Zoom webinar, the only thing she will need to sort of plan for is to promote each of the participants into panelists. That's it. And then everyone will be sitting there with each other. That's it. And then I would also have a Zoom producer or whoever's assisting you. I would have them to keep an eye out on anyone that's sitting in anyone that's hasn't been promoted yet, because people will sneak in and you won't know it. Okay, so I would do that, but it depends on the number of people. If it's like 60 people, 70 people, that can be way too many. Okay, so I would just probably have to give up showing a picture of the speaker bio. But here's something, again, a way you can work around this. In the banner that you can put at the top of the Zoom meeting page, you can, especially if it's just one speaker, you can put the speaker's picture in there. Okay, so I'm thinking, what is it that I can do with and what I can do without? We know for a fact she wants everyone to see everyone. So she wants it to be visual for each participant in terms of seeing each other. So, but you can do this on Zoom webinar, but it depends on the number of people. Okay, so I wanted to just mention that. And then you can get stupid crazy with the registration page to follow up everything. So again, but if you don't want to go through all that promoting people, then I would stick with Zoom meeting. And guess what? When it comes to the, whatever speaker you're going to do, a Q&A segment, let me stop sharing for a second. Whenever it comes to the Q&A segment or anything else you want to do, all you have to do is literally pin. I don't mean the personal pin. I mean the speaker pin. You can just pin the speaker, and the speaker will the only speaker. And if you're asking the questions, pin yourself, pin the speaker, pin yourself, the speaker, and the slides, whatever case may be. And then the participants will just be seen in gallery view, right? And the speaker will be big and giant on the screen. Okay. Here's another thing you can do in Zoom meeting. Is you can do something called immersive view, which is fabulous. This is where you can get funky with it, and you can literally set it up as a classroom, right? And you can move the speaker to the front of the classroom. Hello. And then all the participants are sitting in the chairs. Hey. So it's so cool to do that. So go either way, but I would sit down, create a list, and decide what's most important to me. Is it the follow-up? Is it the registration? Is it the camaraderie of everyone seeing each other? Do I have enough of a team to support me to promote everything? And guys, here's the third thing. This is the third thing, because I've done this myself. You can also do part of your event if you want to, depending on how big this is. You don't want to do this over and over again, but if it's a one-time thing, why the heck not? You can start it on Zoom meeting and then move to Zoom webinar. Because you may say, well, Marquesa, why do I really need Zoom webinar? One of the things I love about Zoom webinar is it gives each participant a chance to, one thing I love about Zoom webinar is I can repurpose that without any distractions on the screen. You got me? So you may say, well, wait a minute, but guess what? Oh my gosh, but guess what? As long as you have, and this is what I talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, as long as you have unlimited cloud storage and you go into your recordings settings, you're going to go settings and you go to recordings. You're going to go settings and you're going to go to recordings. global settings and recordings. As long as you go in there and you check the box that says, I want to record the gallery view. I want to record the speaker view. We talked about this already. I want to record the slides view. I want to read all the, you know, you can make sure, here's another thing. If you want Zoom highlights, you actually got to check that too. So go in there and check it all. Because honey, if you have unlimited meetings, then you don't have to worry about it ever running out of space, right? Then if you want to repurpose it and use it as a course, then you can just provide the speaker sharing slides view. Got me? Yes. So it's so many directions you can go in. So that's why I'm always asking you, what is your goal? Because your goal will determine all the steps. If you don't think about that and you just do stuff, you're going to regret it and waste your time, and you're not going to be able to maximize everything. Okay. So Richard was telling me my voice wasn't completely coming through. Really, Richard? Oh, that's horrible. Plot, plot, plot. Well, hopefully it's doing a little bit better coming through. That would be horrible. I've given some really good information. Yeah, so hopefully, yeah, it's coming through pretty good. Okay. If not, oh boy. Okay. Here, oh, I got to share something with you too. I have the Yeti mic, Blue Yeti mic. Guys, I made a mistake. I freaking bedazzled my mic. I bedazzled it because I'm a child. I bedazzled the damn mic. Well, anyway, sorry, mommy. So because I bedazzled the mic, one day I was in a rush because it wasn't doing what it wasn't loud enough or whatever. So I pushed the button on the front. You see this? I pushed the button on the front and I pushed it all the way inside and I can't get it out. I think I have a warranty on it. I got to check with Amazon because I get warranty on all my stuff. Anyway, long story short, I can't use my Yeti mic. So I'm using my Brio mic. Okay. But I'm also using Crisp to knock out some of the noise. So that may be what's happening. But you know what I'm going to do for a minute, just in case, because now I'm going to be insecure, wondering if you guys could hear everything I said. I'm going to go to Logitech Brio right now. Logitech Brio mic is freaking awesome. The downside sometimes with my lovely Zoom, although they have sound suppression, sometimes you can still hear, like I have the MacBook Pro, it's loud. You hear that? So sometimes you can hear the MacBook Pro and it's loud. So I like to, you know, block that out. But if you're hearing it, I'm about to close out anyway. I just want to make sure you can hear me. But just if you're wondering why is her mic weird today and it's not as like it usually is, it's because I messed up my Yeti. Yeah, no, whatever. Anyway, closing out what Cynthia said, hopefully this will help, okay? But Richard also gave a great answer. Oh, you know what? Cockle-doodle-doo. I paged down. Cynthia says I'll have about 80 participants. Can I show the participants on the screen during the webinar? I have not seen how to do that. Okay, that's a lot of people to promote, Cynthia. But here's something interesting that Richard said, King of Zoom. He said, you can promote them to panelists and then they can be seen, but only 49 on one screen at a time. Okay, that is true. It's true. And that's fine because, oh my gosh, here's something else that Zoom has made happen. And I got to stop because I can just talk about Zoom all day. You know, this is why it's hard for me to date sometime because I'll just sit down and talk to a guy about Zoom. Like, did you know? I'm so kidding. I'm so kidding. But in fact, I got a date this weekend. Anyway, we won't talk about that. Anyway, coming back to this, with 80 participants, that's a lot of work to do. Zoom came out with something called focus mode. Focus mode. And what's so cool is you can use it as the host of the meeting or your participants can use it. So what I would do is tell my participants, hey, if you want to see yourself closer, you want to see yourself with everybody else, you want to see a particular segment, use focus mode. And then this is what I like to do. Everyone doesn't always like this. My church got mad at me when I did this. People get bored looking at the same thing for a long period of time if it's a long event. So I like to move things around. I like to show different audience members. I like to go from gallery to speaker, back to gallery or speaker. And I'm not going to do that while the person is speaking, but throughout the event, I'll do that, right? I like to move it around, kind of like they do on TV. Hello, hello. I like to move it around a little bit. I may pop in a video. I may do something funky. And a lot of this is on Zoom even before you get to Ecamm, okay? Or any of my off Zoom software. It just keeps people engaged. So you don't want to show gallery the entire time. If you're going to show gallery because people are going to get lost, then do Zoom and make it strategic. Say, hey guys, I want to raise your hand. Give me an emoji if it's cold where you live. Give me an emoji if it's cold where you live. And then you get a few people, then you can zoom in, focus mode, to that particular section. So everyone feels as if they're participating. Does that make sense? Hey, woohoo, hi. So anyway, I wanted to mention that. So you can go either way, Cynthia, but based on everything you're saying, I think you need to do Zoom meeting and instead just make your registration page, just think outside the box. If it's just one speaker, put them in the banner. That way you don't have to, because you're going to use your logo. Put them in the banner. That way you can get their information in there, and you can put about the speaker in the description, along with the description of the entire event. So I would do that. Okay, because promoting 80 people can be exhausting. Okay, and then here's another thing I should have mentioned. When you run a Zoom webinar, you are 100% in control. So even if you promote all those people, then you've got to give each and every one of them permission to open their mics. And not only open their mics, but open their cameras. That's a lot of work. So, and just think about it. Everybody may not show up on time, even if you have a team back there. And so then everybody's like, I don't know how do I turn? You don't want all of that. So my advice is do Zoom meeting in this particular situation, because it seems to me like the most important thing for you is the camaraderie. All right, guys, I'm going way over. I have to speak a couple of more times today, which I love. So I need to save my energy. And I got a couple of videos I got to do. So here's the deal. We got to do makeup as women. And so if I'm going to go on screen, I try to do all my videos in one day. So I've got some videos to do. And I don't know, I may take my ponytail down. I'm not sure. It depends on how I'm feeling. Okay, so, and by the way, I'm going to warn you, the hair will be different next time you see me. Well, you won't see me. Yeah, the next time you see me, I will look a little different. I'm not going to tell you why or how, but I will, because you know I love to play with hair. I can't help myself. All right, guys, that's it. I want to close it out by giving a special love to two of my members. One of them is Andrew Barn. I love Andrew. Andrew is a doctor, and he met me speaking for a group. And I don't know, has it been a year? It's been over a year, Andrew. And he is such, I don't know, he's just a fabulous client. He always has great ideas. He will yell at me when I don't go live, when he expects me to go live, although he's part of Club ZQ. He is the reason why I have calendar of events. If you go to zoomqueen.com page down, you see calendar of events just for these types of things, and Club ZQ and Crystallize just for that. My speaking calendar is too, I don't have the energy to remember to organize all that. But the rest of the stuff is there. But he's the one that said, you know, that's been incredible with just giving some valuable feedback. And I just appreciate you, Andrew. So, you know, I wanted to give you a virtual hug and shout out. Another person I want to highlight, and I'm going to share this in the screen here, is, let me go here. Wait, okay, is it? I think it's this one here. Okay, same page. I want to highlight Julie Ann Sullivan. She's been a dear friend and a professional speaker, fellow professional speaker, a colleague of mine for a very long time. And Julie is brilliant at what she does. But Julie does not play. Julie Ann does not play. Julie Ann, you know, is serious. And You know, she values good customer service and really getting what she needs so she can do what she does in her business. And I appreciated what she said about an event I had last week. She says, today I was able to attend Marquessa Petway and her amazing brain and her giving soul at her Friday training for those who have signed up with a license with her. I get no kickback, but will tell you if you don't have the enterprise license, you are missing out. I am not one who uses a lot of bells and whistles or OBS or CAM or whatever. And still, I find this investment the best investment I have made in years. Oh my God. Okay. Marquessa Pay with her team, including Teresa. Teresa's a superstar, y'all, have been nothing short of amazing in answering questions, not to mention that this group is so giving of ideas and feedback. She says, I'm going to be 71 very soon. Girl, you look good. And always open to new ideas and ways of giving to others better. I will also admit that I can be overwhelmed and sometimes need to take things one step at a time. Being here affords you either way to learn. So if you have a question, ask. Take advantage of the library that is available to you. And when you can, see Marquessa at her best, giving to all of us live. Love you, Sim Queen. I love you too, Julianne. Oh, wow. Thank you. So I'm going to close it there. This was a very long broadcast, but this is my way of giving you an extra time because I didn't go last week because I was in production. And this week I wound up going later because I needed some downtime. And so I should be back to normal next Tuesday to 30 minutes. So if you stayed on the entire time or watched the replay the entire time, I appreciate you so much. And even if you didn't, I still appreciate you. Guys, have a wonderful weekend. Go out there and kill it on Zoom. Do you, do your thing, and change the world. Do what you got to do. So I'm going to close out with my Zoom Queen song. Bye, y'all. If I can find it. It's so funny. I could never do. Okay, here we go. Bye, y'all. How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom? Use the tools we have to manage profit and loss. And pretty soon you two can zoom like a boss. But Captain Shoot is wise, he is the queen of the Zoom. How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom? Use the tools we have to manage profit and loss. And pretty soon you two can zoom like a boss. But Captain Shoot is wise, he is the queen of the Zoom. How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom? Use the tools we have to manage profit and loss. And pretty soon you two can zoom like a boss. But Captain Shoot is wise, he is the queen of the Zoom. How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom? Use the tools we have to manage profit and loss. And pretty soon you two can zoom like a boss. But Captain Shoot is wise, he is the queen of the Zoom. How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom? Use the tools we have to manage profit and loss. And pretty soon you two can zoom like a boss. But Captain Shoot is wise, he is the queen of the Zoom. How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom? Use the tools we have to manage profit and loss. And pretty soon you two can zoom like a boss. But Captain Shoot is wise, he is the queen of the Zoom. How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom?